Hello everyone and welcome to the table. So we are checking out a very new color from OKNIFE, and this is the U1 Ultra, and I am really loving this color. That's why you clicked on this thumbnail. So let's check it out. Like, this thing is just oozing the 80s, right? And I don't even think that was really their intention with this color, but man, they nailed it. It looks really, really nice and it's very well done. And so OKNIFE, what they call this color, let's take a look at the box right here. They call this sucker zombie pink. And I get what they're going for, right? Because their traditional zombie color looks like this right here, where it's of course green and red. And honestly, I find that I am liking this pink and blue way more than the green and red. It just looks really awesome. And for something like a utility knife, something that you're going to carry with you, honestly, it makes it look a whole lot less threatening too as well. So that might matter to you depending on where you work and what you do and why you're carrying. So that's a really cool color that they've added here. And I am really glad they've added it to the stable. It just looks, I could say radical, right? 80s, right? So it looks really rad, really awesome. And our handle material here, this is that OAL, so the Olight aluminum, so that very hard, very durable aluminum coating on here, which is going to handle wear and tear really well. That's one of their big marketing pulls, is that this is very durable. And so for an aluminum handled knife, you really do want that. Otherwise, this coloring, this coating is going to get scratched off near instantly with any hard use, right? And so what differentiates the U1 Ultra from its earlier models are a couple of things. And main thing being that this is a button lock knife with a flipper. So we can see the button lock right there, and our flipper action is pretty nice, straight out of the package. So no assisted opening on this. This is just, wrist action, finger action on that flipper. And the button lock is pretty easy to operate. There's no play in the blade. Very easy to maneuver, to operate. So it's a fun fidget knife as well. So that's always cool. But one thing you'll notice just looking at the blade of this knife, we can check that out. It's that gorgeous. It's all blacked out. And not only is this blade that's included with it blacked out, this is a ceramic blade. And so if you're not familiar with ceramic utility blades, we can see that mentioned right here on the box. Ceramic utility blades maintain a sharp edge for ages, for a long, long time. Only downside with ceramic blades is that they are brittle side to side. So this is not a knife you want to tweak and torque and pry with, because this blade will snap. Period. The end. It will break. It will snap, and you don't want that to happen. But for straight cuts, up and down, up and down cuts, back and forth, this thing is going to cut and cut and cut. So a lot of the less expensive utility knives, again, you can use these with this, but I found for a lot of heavier materials, a few swipes on a blade like this, and you're losing that razor edge very quickly. So with a ceramic blade, that's not necessarily going to be an issue. Plus, especially with this coloration, I think the black blade looks really awesome. But it does come with, I think, at least one spare. So let's check the box out here. I did see something like that in here, so let's check it out. So what we have in here, we do have, yeah. So we see right here, it comes with, I think that's just one extra blade, and this one's white. So we can see it has the OKNIFE logo. So we have one white ceramic blade and one black ceramic blade. And yes, I did stick a magnet on this. This is not magnetic. This is a ceramic blade. But yeah, so two ceramic blades do come with the knife straight out of the package. But we also get a little tool here. And so we, of course, a nifty little bottle opener, but that's not the main purpose here, because of course, in order to change out these blades, it helps to have sometimes a little wrench here to wrench on there and get it tightened or loosened. So that's always an option for you. And of course, doing it on camera is never going to be easy, but that's the idea. You twist it that way to tighten it, and then you spin it the other way to loosen it. So let's go ahead and see if I can do that barehanded on camera. Nope. So we are going to put the tool into motion here. There we go. And so now that it's loose, you can just use your finger, take the blade out. And again, there's the little OKNIFE logo on there. So let's go ahead and flip it around so the OKNIFE logo is a little more visible. And I just want to be really careful because these ceramic blades are very sharp. And we're going to finger tighten it. And now again, if you don't trust your finger tightening skills, that's why the tool's here. So we are just going to put that on there, and boom, a little bit of a turn, and it's nice and tight in the handle, and we're good to go. So that is exactly what we have here in the box. Really cool design. And again, The main thing, if I had any issues, hiccups with this knife, is that the finger strength right here that you need to undo it without the tool can be excessive, because you really want to tweak this down so that you don't have a blade come loose in action. So you do want to probably keep this on your keychain if you're going to carry the U1 Ultra around with you. So just throwing that out there, just something you might want to do for safety reasons, right? But I do appreciate we get the extra blade. But again, any cheap utility blade can work in this carrier, and this one just has style. So it's, you know, straight out of the 80s, pretty cool splashes of blue blood, so to speak. We do have a deep carry pocket clip, as you can tell. Pocket clip is not reversible, so this is going to be right-hand side, tip-up carry, so typical of many pocket knives out there, as well as these dual thumb studs. And the whole knife blade holder runs on bearings, so you can see how easy it is to swing around, which makes the action just that much nicer. Looking inside the handle right here, we can see we have solid pieces of aluminum. So these handles definitely do feel very solid. They are not bendy. They do not have any give to them. So it does give you an overall very solid feel of this knife in hand. So that's great to mention that. But again, so these things come with the knife. I do want to make a quick comparison though, because the earlier U1, this is just the U1, I think they call this the Autical. This is of course also an OKNIFE design. Again, this one uses a crossbar lock, but other than that, the two knives are very similar. So it just depends on what you prefer, the crossbar lock, the button lock, the thumb studs versus flipper thumb studs combo. So it's a slight incrementation upward, and of course this pink coloration is a lot newer. But I'm really just kind of curious about everyone else's feedback, see what you think about the color of this one, so we can put those side by side. And honestly, there's one kind of out of left field I do want to compare on the table, and it has one thing that I think OKNIFE could improve on this design with. Because again, coming back to that little knob right there, let's check out this knife right here. So this one comes to us from New Knives, so we can see the NK logo there. So this is the New Knives, I think it's the Companter. And so what's really nice about this design, again, utility blade, we have a bigger thumb disc, but you'll also notice on that thumb disc right there, there's a Torx head. So you can actually use a Torx bit to loosen and tighten it. So it's a little bit more convenient than using something like this on this thumb screw, because you can use an actual tool and torque it down a lot easier. Maybe this is easier to carry around with you than an actual Torx bit, but man, that's kind of my opinion here. So you can tell me what you think. Would you rather carry this around, or would you rather just keep something on your keychain kind of like this right here, where you have an actual driver, a bit driver with you, you know? Pluses and minuses, right? Pluses and minuses. But if I've seen anything in the past couple of years in the knife world, it is that these blade holders, these utility blade holders, are not going away. They're becoming more common. And so if you're going to pick up one that has some style to it, the U1 Ultra definitely is putting its best foot forward. So that is my opinion here. First impressions are excellent of the U1 Ultra. So feel free to drop any questions you have below. I will mention OKNIFE did send this over to me. Now, I've bought boatloads of OKNIFE stuff, so recently they've started to send me stuff, which is actually kind of cool. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. But again, this was one, the second I saw it posted on their Facebook, I was going to buy it. And then they literally asked the next day if I wanted to check one out. So I'm like, heck yes. So just, you know, giving you my thoughts on this one, my first opinions. But drop your comments below. Tell me what you think of the U1 Ultra. Is pink a go or a no? Hope you all have a nice day out there. See you later.